The road shimmered under the late afternoon sun. A battered Peterbilt 379 rumbled into the sleepy town of Milford, coughing smoke. Its once bright red paint had faded into rust and dust. John Everett's scarred hands gripped the steering wheel. His eyes, shielded behind scratched aviators, scanned the town. Milford wasn't much. A gas station, a diner, and Weller's Auto Repair. The truck rolled to a stop and went still. John stepped down, boots landing heavily on the gravel. His weathered army jacket, stitched with fading insignias, looked like it hadn't been washed since Kabul. Inside the garage, 3 young mechanics lounged, barely looking up as John approached. "Truck's dead," he said plainly. "Could use some help." A lanky guy with tattoos smirked. "Yeah. Got an appointment?" "No. We're booked, man. Maybe next week." John gave a slight nod and turned back toward his truck. Then a glint. A sharp ray of sun struck the front bumper. Something flashed. A bronze plaque below the license plate. Medal of Honor recipient. U.S. Army. Operation Enville Shield. The lanky mechanic blinked. "Wait, what was that?" He stepped forward, squinting. "Whoa, is that real? That's a Medal of Honor plate. Like government issued." The older mechanic stepped out from the shadows, his gaze locked on the plaque, then on John. He took off his cap slowly. "Sir?" he called out. John paused, turned halfway back. "Were you at Enville Shield?" he asked. John's fingers brushed over the patch on his jacket. "I was." For a moment, no one spoke. The older mechanic extended a hand. "My uncle served there. Never came back. I know what that patch means." John shook his hand, firm but humble. The mood shifted. The laughter drained from the younger mechanics' faces. One turned off the music. Another put down his phone. Without another word, the older mechanic grabbed a wrench and walked toward the truck. "Let's take a look." Tyler wiped his hands, still watching the bronze plaque. He crouched near the bumper and snapped a photo. The page loaded. His eyes widened. "Guys, come here. His name's John Everett. Captain John Everett. Decorated with the Silver Star, Bronze Star with Valor, and the Distinguished Service Cross. Says he saved his entire squad from an ambush in Corangle Valley 2013. Was presumed dead for almost a week. They called him the Ghost of Anvil Shield." Across the street, Mara Weller looked up from her office. The voices outside had grown urgent. She stepped out onto the shop floor. "It's the guy with the truck," Ben said. "We think he's a decorated vet." Mara squinted toward the parked rig. Then Tyler spoke the name aloud. "John Everett." Her knees weakened. "No," she whispered. Her son, Corporal James Weller, wrote about a man named John Everett in every letter from Afghanistan. James called him a guardian angel with a rifle. Tears welled in her eyes. She crossed the road slowly. John sat on a wooden bench outside the diner, eyes closed. "Captain Everett?" she asked, voice trembling. He gave the faintest nod. "Amara Weller. My son." "I know," he said softly. "James. He carried a photo of you in his front chest pocket." Her lip quivered. "He mentioned you in his letters. Told me you carried him to the helicopter under heavy fire." John looked away, then nodded. "He didn't want to leave. I had to throw him in. Then I stayed behind." She covered her mouth. "I thought you were dead." "So did I," John replied with a faint smile. Mara sat down beside him. "You saved him. He came home. Did he make it okay? After the war?" Mara looked down. "No. PTSD. He lasted 2 years. Took his own life in 2015. John bowed his head. "I'm sorry." Mara placed her hand over his. "Don't be. You gave me 2 more years with my son. That was a gift." Within the hour, half of Milford knew Captain John Everett was sitting on that bench. By 5 p.m. The shop had become a gathering place. A retired colonel saluted John. Mrs. Cartwright brought her father's war photographs. Mayor Kent arrived. Someone brought a casserole. An older couple brought a framed photo of their son, who never made it home. As twilight descended, townspeople gathered with candles flickering in the breeze. No announcement had been made. It had just happened. John stepped outside. Everywhere he looked, faces young and old. Mara handed him a candle. He lit it from hers. Someone began to sing softly, and the rest joined in. John stood still, staring at the flame, at the sea of glowing faces. Something cracked inside his chest. Not pain, but forgiveness from himself. The next morning, John found his truck fully restored, polished, repainted in deep navy blue. The team had worked through the night. Mara approached with coffee. "Hope you don't mind. We figured it was time someone took care of you." Mayor Kent arrived with a caravan. "We've got one more thing to show you." They drove to a small house with white siding and green shutters. "This was the McCarthy's place," the mayor said. "We've been maintaining it. Figured it was waiting for the right person." Mara held out a key. "You've been driving from place to place, never stopping. We'd like to give you back your home." John took the key slowly. "I don't deserve this." "Yes, you do," she replied. "Because of who you are right here." Later, at a ceremony on the town green, John took the mic. "I spent most of my life trying not to be seen. I didn't know how to be a person anymore. For years, I drove. I kept moving so I wouldn't have to feel anything too long. But then I broke down in your town. And you didn't look past me. You looked at me. You fed me. You fixed my truck. You gave me a home. But more than that, you fixed something I thought was broken forever." People rushed to shake his hand, to hug him. He wasn't a stranger anymore. He was John. And he was home.